Chairman, it's Anne. Just to advise that Councillor Dennis and Councillor Newman have left the
I've
meeting
got them
now. Yeah,
I did. Yeah, I did get them. Thank you.
Thank
you. Okay, now item 14, pavement licences. Councillor Leyland.
Thank you, Chair. Hopefully this is a fairly straightforward paper, and I hope I don't regret saying that. If you remember, in summary, in August the 12th of 2020, the Council delegated to Lincolnshire County Council the authority to discharge all functions relating to pavement licensing. But I think probably before we carry on, there was a number of declarations of interest that were made, and maybe can I just refer this to the monitoring officer just for a second?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Councillor Leyland. Yes, I'm conscious when we did declarations of interest, there were a number of members who declared that they were had pavement licences. I think members need to reflect on the appropriateness of continuing to take part in this debate, because you have a licence of which the debate will be discussing the process. And in terms of the potential conflict of interest arising, you might want to reflect whether it would be more appropriate to declare to take that declaration that you gave earlier on as a potential conflict of interest and withdraw for this item and come back in. And that will ensure that you can't be seen to be influencing a debate on something of which a process you have received a licence through that process. I'm happy to take questions. And I'll throw that back over to Mr. Chairman before Councillor Leyland comes back in.
Okay, I've got a couple of blue hands up. People want to ask questions. Councillor Colin Davey.
Yes, I think probably advisable, Chairman, that I drop out on this item as a member of the Executive Board of the County Council. I think it's probably better I don't take part in this.
Okay. Councillor Mark Dennett, please.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I did declare an interest. Do we need to go in the waiting room, or are we okay to just switch video and volume off? Thank you.
Michelle?
If I can come in, if it's something that you've recorded in your DPI, then you will definitely need to leave and wait in the waiting room. If it's and again, I think if it's something that can give rise to a direct conflict of interest, my advice be that you withdraw, so it's not seen that if we think about the ability to influence and public perception of influencing the debate by simply being here and listening to that, I would advise members to withdraw and wait in the waiting room until the item is concluded, and then our Democratic Services team will bring you back in. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can I be put into the waiting room then, please, Councillor Dannett? Thank you.
Councillor Danny Brooks as well, please.
Okay, just bear with me.
Me as well, if you can, please.
And also myself, please, Anne.
Okay. Yeah, I think they've gone right. Councillor Leyland.
Sorry, I think there's just another councillor that needs to go in. I've got Councillor Danny Brooks, Councillor Billy Brooks and Councillor Mark Dannett in the waiting room. Is there anybody else that needs to go in?
Colin Davey. Councillor Davey.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah, I'll just put Councillor Davey in. They're all in the waiting room now, Chairman.
That's it. Yeah, right, okay then. Councillor Leyland.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to the monitoring officer for that advice. If you recall, in August 2020, the Council delegated to Lincolnshire County Council authority to discharge all functions relating to the pavement licences under sections 1 to 9 of the Business and Planning Act 2020. This report reviews the performance of Lincolnshire County Council over the first 3 months of this arrangement, and the recommendation is that the State for Community Service Manager continue to monitor the performance of Lincolnshire County Council and will report back any issues the council has. I have to say the reason that we're doing this is the administration and processing of payment licenses by Lincolnshire County Council is being completed in a timely manner, and it seems to be all working very well. So we would just like a continuation of that process. We have some statistics about how many applications have been made, and that's mentioned in 1.5, but I think the paper is fairly clear, Mr. Chairman, and I would seek council's support to take this through this evening. Thank you.
Have we got a seconder, please?
Yes, I'll second that, Chairman. Councillor Edgington.
Right, thank you very much. Jim, is your blue hand up from the last item?
No, Mr. Chairman, I put it up nice and early because I will want to talk at one point.
Right, well, you're on now.
Thank you very much. All I wanted to say was that when we're talking about the Safer Community Service Manager, I have a concern because in previous experience in Spilsby, furniture was put out on a pavement and not enough room was left for, you know, a mobility scooter, for example, to compass, and people did complain to me. Now, I'm going back several years now. Now, I have no problems with the fact that we've delegated this back to the county council. What I am asking is that the Safer Community Service Manager has some rules, if you like, that are set by the district council in terms of the safety of the pavement to residents from the dangers of the furniture that might be put on the pavement, because, you know, people move things around. You know, there's a table and two chairs, and then the next thing the chair is at 90 degrees. And I think that the Safer Community Service Manager needs to have some district council guidelines.
Right, thank you. No one else asked him to speak. Back to you, Councillor Edgington.
Yeah, the
Councillor
report
Ed-
is self-explanatory.
Yeah, so you got nothing to say. Okay, back to Councillor Leyland.
Thank you, Chair. Just for picking up on Councillor Swanson's issues, the reality is that this was a county council responsibility that was looking to be devolved to districts. We've asked that it stays with Lincolnshire County Council. So in terms of the regulation and the strictures that are involved in placing street furniture on pavements, there are quite strict regulations about that in place already, and those will be considered when the applications are made. And if there are issues that you want to raise in terms of things being placed that are blocking pavements, do raise it with the officer that you're talking about, but equally it is a county council function as well. So hopefully that explains it, Chair. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Are you happy for this to be done with a blue hand, Councillor Leyland?
I'm very keen on blue hands, Chair. Thank
Right,
you.
okay then. So all those in favour, blue hand, please.
You can tell it's getting late by how swift the blue hands are going up. It's brilliant.
Yeah, look. Yeah. Saves a lot of time, doesn't it? Right, that's carried. You can take them all down now. Okay, so we move on to item 15, motions on notice. There are none. Item 16, questions. There are 8 questions. Question 1, Councillor Makinson Saunders to Councillor Foster.
No, I don't. I've forwarded the information to the people that wanted it. So thank you very much, Councillor Foster. Really helpful. Thank you.
Right.
Yep.
Question 2, Councillor Makinson Saunders to Councillor Leyland.
Well, actually, I was on that group in May 2017. I don't remember it being changed. I do think it needs to be referred. If we, in our scrutiny, we looked at Boston's.
Are you asking a supplementary?
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not in line with Boston, so you'd be happy to look at it again. Are you, please?
Councillor Leyland.
Yes, Chair. Thank you, Councillor Sanders. Yeah, we can look at this again via the monitoring officer to put it in the process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Question 3.
Well, I'm going to. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to crave some indulgence here. Can I now refer this to Councillor Leyland, because Councillor Gray's not here, and this could well be a time-limited question, as will be apparent. And I know Councillor Leyland serves on the Resilience Forum.
Is that in the rules, Councillor Leyland?
Well, it's about it needs to go somewhere, and it's. I'm hoping you say yes, because it's quite a touching reason I've asked this question.
Mr. Chairman, if it's any help, given the response that Councillor Gray has given, I'm quite happy to talk to Councillor Mackison Sanders after the meeting, well, probably tomorrow in fairness, that if she wants to raise a particular issue, I'm quite happy to discuss that with her.
Yeah, well, it's about a past member of staff who's suffering from dementia, and it follows on from there. And I was rather hoping this council would support taking some action to help the family.
Okay, well, if you have a chat with
me
me
afterwards, it's really
Yeah.
touching, and I did want to share it because it's about Bob Such, who used to work for us.
Oh,
but
I
I'll
remember.
speak to you about it.
Well,
you know,
okay. I think we just need to be careful discussing people's
Yeah.
No,
interest in-
no,
on
the
council.
family are well aware that I'm asking this question, and they
Right.
haven't.
But more
I have
than
their
happy to
backing.
discuss it with you in another, tomorrow. Not a
Yeah,
problem.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Question 4 is Councillor Edward Mossop to Councillor Boquet. Have you a supplementary?
Councillor Boquet, thank you very much for the comprehensive reassurance on the housing policy. But I did ask, however, about the policy being consistent with other districts. And what I really wanted to know, really the question is, with particular reference to the Boston Alliance, and now that the housing and wellbeing is under the same directorship at East Lindsey and Boston, are the officers dealing with two separate housing policies, or are they rolling out the new East Lindsey policy to cover Boston? And how is this going to work? I think it's a question that is a wider thing, obviously, for lots of policies, but in particular, I wanted to see that we were consistent across two councils in terms of the policy. And I did also ask about proofing from the overview committee. I champion things like this going to overview committee. I just wonder what you thought about that as well. Thank you.
That's quite a lot of questions in that
it's
one
two, really.
one question. Yeah, I mean, you'll know that Michelle and Jason Oxby's coming to overview. I think that's in the next few weeks. We are aligning the Boston policy to East Lindsey. We are an alliance, so they will run together. We're reviewing the Boston one at the moment. I mean, the policy we have reviewed here, we've set it against other districts around the country. And in actual fact, the reason that this came about, we had done nothing wrong, and I will stand by that. We gave the family every effort and help that we could, and it was all refused. So I can hold my head up high. And if you want to talk to it after or wish to discuss it any further, I will speak to you tomorrow. My phone number's there. Please give me a call.
Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor.
Thank you.
That's helpful.
Right. Question 5 is Councillor Leonard to Councillor Kirk. Have you a supplementary?
No, thank you. A good response. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Question 6 is Councillor Alton to Councillor Kirk. Have you a supplementary?
No, I just thank Councillor Kirk for his answer. Thank you very much.
Right. Question 7 is Councillor Alton to Councillor Kirk. Have you a supplementary?
Not really, but I thank Councillor Kirk for his reply.
Right. And question 8 is Councillor Alton to Councillor Foster. Have you a supplementary?
Sorry, I will have to speak to Councillor Foster, thanking him for reply. I've printed off his answer, but it's only half printed, so I will have a relook and probably contact him later. But thank you for his reply.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, we would now move to. Now move to item 20 on the agenda, which is the date of the next meeting.
What?
Well, we're going into a closed session. Right, so the date of the next meeting, the programme date for the next meeting of the council will be on Wednesday, the 3rd of March, 2021. Okay, so Item